You remember your childhood summers as endless. You remember college as a blur. Last year feels like it happened 3 months ago. The older you get, the faster time seems to move. And it's not your imagination. Your brain is compressing recent memories while stretching old ones. Every year that passes feels shorter than the last. And that perception is stealing your sense of time while convincing you life is running out faster than it actually is. This happens in ways that change how you live. You put off important things because you feel like you have time. Then suddenly 5 years vanished and you haven't started. You remember your 20s as longer than your 30s, even though they were the same length. You swear last Christmas was a few months ago when it's been a full year. Your brain is playing tricks with time perception. It's making recent events feel compressed and distant events feel stretched. You're not experiencing time accurately. You're experiencing your brain's warped reconstruction of how long things took. And that distortion makes you think life is accelerating when it's moving at exactly the same pace it always did. This is called the foreshortening effect. Studies show people consistently estimate recent time periods as shorter than they actually were and distant periods as longer. Your brain evolved to prioritize new information over old. Fresh memories are detailed and take up mental space. Old memories get compressed into highlights. So, a week from childhood with constant new experiences feels longer in memory than a week from adulthood doing the same routine. Your neurons store time based on how much changed, not how much time passed. Your brain thinks recent time was short because it compressed the memory, but it's actually making you misperceive the present while living in it. Here's how this warps your life without you realizing. You're planning a project at work. You remember the last similar project. It feels like it took 2 weeks. So you budget 2 weeks, but when you check records, it actually took 6 weeks. You just compressed 6 weeks of memory into what feels like 2, so you underestimate by 300%. The project runs late. You're confused why. You blame circumstances, but your time perception was broken from the start. Your memory foreshortened the past, and you trusted that false timeline to predict the future. Or you think about the last 5 years. They feel like they flew by, like barely anything happened. So you convince yourself you haven't changed much or accomplished much. But if you actually list what happened year by year, it's massive. You changed jobs, moved cities, built relationships, learned skills, lost people, grew in ways you can't even articulate. Your brain compressed all that richness into a feeling of not much happened. So you undervalue your progress. You feel behind. You panic. That time is slipping away. When, actually, you lived a full 5 years. Your memory just made it feel short. And here's what nobody tells you about this. Your brain is compressing time based on routine, not actual duration. The more predictable your days, the faster they vanish from memory. The effect doesn't just distort single memories, it creates a cascade, where time perception ruins time management. You think tasks take less time than they do because you remember them as quick, so you overschedule, which creates stress, which makes you rush through experiences, which makes them less memorable, which makes your brain compress them even more in memory, which makes future time estimates even worse. You're trapped in a loop where poor time perception creates rushed experiences, which create worse time perception. Each year feels faster than the last, because you're creating fewer distinct memories. This happened to me 3 times, just this morning. Most people think this is about getting older or life speeding up, so they assume there's nothing to do about it or that everyone experiences it the same way. But that's like assuming glasses can't help bad vision because everyone's eyes. The real issue isn't age. It's that your brain uses novelty to encode time. Childhood feels long because everything was new. Adulthood feels short because you do the same things. The years are identical in length. The experiences are different in variety. You're confusing routine with speed. Time isn't moving faster. You're just noticing less. This effect survives because accepting that time moves at constant speed feels boring and believing it. Speeding up creates urgency. Plus, admitting recent years felt short means admitting they weren't as full as you wanted. And if you stopped compressing time, you'd have to face how much of your life runs on autopilot. How many days blend together, how few moments stand out. Your brain would rather convince you time is speeding up than make you confront how little you're repaying attention. Stay with me, because what comes next matters more. You're not experiencing time speeding up. You're experiencing memory compression, making the past feel shorter than it was. And that compression happens because you're living in routine instead of variety. Your childhood wasn't longer. It was more novel. Every day had new experiences your brain encoded separately. Your recent years aren't shorter. They're more repetitive. Your brain chunks, similar experiences together. A year of Mondays that all look the same gets stored as one memory of Monday. A year of varied experiences gets stored as 365 distinct memories. The difference in how long it feels has nothing to do with actual time. It has everything to do with how much attention you paid. Once you see time perception as a function of novelty instead of duration, everything shifts. Last year didn't fly by because time sped up. It flew by because you did the same things every week and your brain compressed it. You want time to feel slower. Create more distinct moments. Break routines. Pay attention. Notice details. New experiences expand perceived time. Routine compresses it. You have complete control over this. Not by changing time, by changing how you spend it. So the next time a year feels like it vanished in a blur and you panic that life is accelerating, you'll know what's really happening. Your brain compressed a year of routine into what feels like a month. But now you can catch it. You can look back and count what actually happened, instead of trusting the feeling. You can break patterns that make days blend together. That's the difference. You're not trying to slow time. You're trying to make time memorable enough that it doesn't compress in retrospect. You started this video thinking time is speeding up as you age. Now you know your brain compresses routine memories and stretches novel ones, creating the illusion of acceleration. That's not a small shift. That's understanding why your years feel short, even though they're not. You started this video thinking time was running out faster. Now you know your brain is compressing your memories of it. That's not a small shift. That's taking back control of your time perception. Click the video on screen to discover why smart people make the dumbest mistakes.